Well, let's bring in Jason Chaffetz. He is former House Oversight Committee chair and Fox News contributor. Jason, always great to see you. I want to play this. Mark Levin said this. Listen, and I'll get your response.
The media have played a huge role in what's going on in this country, and they're exploiting now what took place on Capitol Hill, trying to silence conservatives, silence Republicans. They're not going to change. Out of one side of their mouth, they talk about unity. Out of the other side of their mouth, they spit on people.
Spit on people, Jason. I mean, it's a pretty harsh term there. You think about over on CNN, Anderson Cooper telling Trump supporters to go back to Olive Garden. I mean, I can't imagine a news anchor at Fox News Channel saying that about a Biden supporter and getting away with it. Your thoughts on all this?
The hypocrisy is just driving people nuts. Like all through the spring and the summer, into the fall, you saw riots and looting and people destroying federal property. And there are those of us on the right, conservatives, that were calling that out as wrong, that those people need to be arrested. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris is out there bailing people out of jail to get it back out on the streets as quickly as possible, advocating for cashless bail, and the media not reporting on it. Now, when the thing happened at the Capitol, of course we could take the same consistent position of arresting those people, prosecuting those people. But the media, the hypocrisy is just untenable at this point, and it really is infuriating.
Yeah, here's Kim Strassel, by the way, talking about the mile-wide Democratic double standard. Watch.
One of the things that really caused people to lose a lot of faith in institution was Democrats' behavior in the 2016 election. For them to look astounded or surprised that there are some people out there that doubt the validity of the recent election results, I think is a little bit incredible.
What do you make of that, Congressman? Is that a proper summation of what's happening?
I think for a lot of people it is. I mean, every time a Republican had been elected in the last several generations here, Democrats have gone to the floor or gone to the Senate and actually caused an objection. It's part of the process. They're asked for a vote and some people objected. Then Republicans do it and you make it sound as if it had never, ever happened before. Again, the hypocrisy. And then when that's coupled with taking away the voice on social media and suppressing that by not only what they did to Donald Trump, but there are those of us on the conservative side of the aisle that have lost tens of thousands of followers. That suppression at the same time is not a recipe for unity. It is not going to calm the waters and take air out of this balloon for a peaceful transfer of power come the 20th.
You talk about social media shutting down voices. It really is kind of astonishing where you have, the Ayatollah Khamenei, who is still active on Twitter, and Vladimir Putin and Medvedev. And you look at all these figures and you think, wow, it's just astonishing the stark break that some of these social media companies have had in kind of, in deciding where they're going to come down.
The bias is absolutely one way. Just look at so-called comedian Kathy Griffin. She has in her hand Donald Trump beheaded with blood dripping out of it. They still haven't ever done anything about that. I mean, talk about inciting violence and doing violent things. There is no way that those social media companies can look anybody in the eye and say that they did it to both sides. And it's that unequal application of justice in this country, unequal application of how the social media platforms have played this out, that just infuriates people and makes the situation worse.
Lastly, I just want to put these headlines up, if I can, just kind of show some of the headline bias. In the New York Times, Trump incites mob. Washington Post, Trump mob storms Capitol. Boston Globe, Trump incited mob attacks the Capitol. Philadelphia Inquirer, incited by Trump, mob halts count. LA Times, finally, Trump incited mob storms U.S. Capitol. About 15 seconds for your final thoughts, Jason.
I never saw a headline over the summer that says Kamala Harris did what she did when she said they're going to keep doing what they're going to do. I never saw that. And by the way, welcome to Joe Biden's presidency, where he hasn't even mentioned a word or a peep on this and not taken a position on impeachment.
Jason Chaffetz, good to see you, sir. Thank you.